Well, tax season is officially underway as of today, and if you use payment apps like Venmo and PayPal, there is a big change this year. Gordon Severson explains who's impacted and what you'll need to do.
Real Sports Cards in Champlin is a typical retail business.
This is our basketball display case.
And Ryan Holland is a typical business owner.
We're responsible for collecting and remitting sales taxes and paying income taxes.
But most of his customers, sports card collectors, fall into a gray area when it comes to taxes.
They're buying and selling and buying and selling, and most of the time it's to subsidize their hobby expenses.
This year, many will receive this tax form, the 1099-K, if they receive money on payment apps like PayPal or Venmo.
It's a big burden on collectors who aren't a business.
And it's not just sports cards.
If you're an Uber driver, Lyft, anything you do through Shopify and Etsy and eBay.
CPA Scott Katerlich says anyone who received more than $5,000 through a payment app last year will receive one of these forms. For the 2025 tax year, the threshold drops to $2,500 and then $600 in 2026.
What you have to be careful of when you're using Venmo is actually define what those payments are for.
If the money is truly income, then yes, the IRS does expect you to pay taxes on it. But if the money is personal, say a few friends splitting a pizza, Katerlich says those payments will not get reported to the IRS if you label them correctly.
If you do receive a 1099-K for that by accident or in error, you need to let the provider know.
For collectors who buy and sell things like sports cards, Katerlich says you'll need to keep a log of all your transactions so you can show the money you spent and the money you earned.
There's definitely a risk that this deters people from engaging in sales.
Now, tax professionals tell me if the IRS receives one of these forms from a payment app and you don't acknowledge it on your tax return, the IRS will send you a letter asking what happened to this money. If you don't respond, they will just add that on as income and you'll have to pay the taxes on it. And sooner or later, the IRS will get that money. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Gordon.